Hello, and welcome to Dragon Wolf Animations. This video is a little different from what I normally do as it is a project for my college writing class. This is a discussion topic video where I will be discussing a topic that is a relevant issue in the world. This is for education purposes only and should be used only for such. Please also don't repost and claim it as your own. Now, the topic I will be discussing today is the importance of blood donating. Before diving into the deep end, we need to give some basic information about blood donations and the purpose of this. Blood donations are simply when someone of appropriate age of 16 and older, with the correct height and weight ratio, and have no major medical issues comes to a blood drive and has a pint of blood taken out of them via injection of IV in the arm. Once a pint of blood is taken out, they wrap your arm in medical wrap and send the blood to a lab for testing of blood type, and to make sure the blood is healthy. After that, it is stored in a freezer until used in medical emergencies or blood transfusions. You can also do a power red where you give even more blood safely, or a platelet donation where they take the plasma out of your blood and give you back the rest of the unneeded blood. After you wait 56 days, you can donate again if you meet the medical requirements. To understand how much blood is being taken, let's break it down. 1 unit equals 1 pint of blood. 1 pint of blood equals 2.113 liters of blood. Our bodies hold 5 liters of blood. So you are not losing as much blood as you think. There are also 4 different blood groups with 2 different variants, causing 8 different blood types. The blood groups are O, A, B, and AB, each with a positive and negative variant. I myself am an O positive blood type. Now that we have talked about what a blood donation is, we need to discuss a recent issue that many may not be aware of, the shortage of blood supply. Back between mid-December 2025 and mid-January 2026, there was a massive shortage in blood supply where the national blood supply of America fell about 35%. The reasons why this number dropped so much was because of 2 big factors at play: bad winter weather and a major flu outbreak. As stated by a recent article from the American Red Cross, last month alone, 400 blood drives were impacted by winter weather, causing thousands of blood donations to go uncollected. Many people were unable to leave their homes due to the icy road conditions and tons of snow, making it hard to see, along with also being too sick to go anywhere even if they could. Dr. Courtney Lawrence, an executive medical director for Red Cross, claims, "This time of year is always challenging for blood collection, but right now, the perfect storm of a long holiday season, record flu activity and winter weather are all impeding donation efforts." The more serious shortages include blood types O, A negative and B negative, causing people with emergency need for blood transfusions to be at serious risk. Speaking of blood transfusions, what exactly is the difference between a blood donation and a blood transfusion? To put it simply, a blood donation is when someone who is able gives their blood voluntarily at blood drives, and a blood transfusion is when someone who has an emergency has the donated blood put inside their bodies to stay alive and healthy. According to the American Red Cross, a total of 21 million blood components are transfused each year in the United States alone. While that is impressive, it still leaves the question as to why specifically someone would need a blood transfusion. There are many different reasons as to why someone would need a blood transfusion. Some people have to have more than one due to medical problems or when the blood stops functioning properly. Typically, people need a blood transfusion during an emergency if a lot of blood is lost due to a serious accident or injury, loss of blood during a surgery, childbirth, or miscarriage, or even because of an illness or blood disorder. It is considered critically life-threatening when 40% of the 5 liters of blood in our bodies is lost. If this happens, then a massive transfusion of 10 or more units is needed within 24 hours. People whose blood stops working correctly, such as when the 3 different parts of blood don't do their job. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. White blood cells protect your body from outside illnesses and infections. And platelets control the blood flow by clotting so you don't bleed profusely. But what about for people who have a blood disorder causing them to consistently need a blood transfusion throughout their lives? What causes them to need transfusions? There are hundreds if not thousands of illnesses or diseases that take place in blood or affect the blood. According to the Cleveland Clinic, you may have a blood clotting disorder or a bleeding disorder. With treatment, most blood disorders become chronic illnesses that don't affect people's lifespans. These diseases can range from being non-cancerous to cancerous, inherited or developed, and increased risk of blood clotting or bleeding more. Clotting is caused by the protein factors in blood, with disorders causing people to be more at risk for a stroke or heart attack. This is because your blood becomes too thick to flow properly, so the oxygen and waste can't be moved in a timely manner to keep up with your body. While a bleeding disorder is when your blood is too runny, so it constantly flows more than it should with nowhere to go. Though there are many different disorders, the most common one is anemia, which is when you don't have enough healthy red blood cells. However, that still doesn't answer as to why these happen in the first place. Well, as mentioned earlier, they can either be inherited or developed, but it's also a mystery still as to why and how. Such as quoted by Cleveland Clinic, there is no single cause for blood disorders. However, that doesn't mean there aren't factors that can be a sign or cause of a blood disorder. Generally, these include nosebleeds that last longer than 10 minutes and happen more than 5 times a year. Excessive bleeding from injuries lasting longer than 10 minutes. Internal bleeding, bruising from minor or no apparent injuries. Post-surgery bleeding, childbirth or in miscarriage. Heavy periods in females, or simply blood in human waste. But what happens to the rest of the body when the function of blood stops working correctly? Well, for starters, the blood that is part of the entire cardiovascular system in our bodies controls oxygen carriers, removing waste, and helps the heart pump properly. This can all lead to cardiovascular system failure, chronic heart failure, and congestive heart failure. As quoted by the Cardiovascular Disease Hub, the cardiovascular system, composed of the heart, blood vessels, and blood, plays a crucial role in maintaining the body's overall health, so when it goes, so does the rest of the functions of blood, causing a lot of life-threatening risks. Okay, so we know about the functions, illnesses, and needs for a blood transfusion, but what are other ways to treat illnesses in blood? Generally, doctors and other medical professionals will do watchful waiting, anticoagulants, growth factor supplementation, and corticosteroids along with blood and platelet transfusions. But some of the other medical supplements can result in other side effects, so make sure you talk to your doctor about them first and take only what is required or prescribed. So to wrap this up, blood transfusions are when someone has blood that was donated put inside their bodies. People who need blood transfusions include those who have lost a lot of blood from an injury, surgery, or have a blood disorder of either clotting to cause the blood not to flow correctly, or from a bleeding disorder where they bleed too much. People can inherit or develop these blood disorders, and there are many signs of a blood disorder, but it also is still a mystery as to why it all happens. If people don't have healthy blood inside them, or the blood doesn't function properly, then they can be at risk for heart failures, strokes, and heart attacks. There are medications to also help with these blood disorders, but they should only be decided on by someone professional in the medical field, but the biggest help are blood donations and transfusions. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something new today and you used the information well. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.